Lucid Motors has begun work on the second phase of its development, which will total 2,400,000 square feet of mechanical industrial building space and nearly 3,000 parking spaces on 152.36 acres. The factory's square footage will increase from 999,000 square feet to 5.1 million square feet in 4 phases between now and 2028. The ultimate version will have a production capacity of up to 400,000 electric cars per year with a variety of models. Lucid has completed all necessary work for the Lucid Air, and it's now time to focus on the manufacturing of Project Gravity, the company's flagship SUV. This is a strong indication that Lucid Motors will take Project Gravity seriously and that the company plans to expand significantly in the future. Hello and welcome back to eMotion. In today's video, we'll dig into the details of Lucid's latest updates on its construction site and expansions into Saudi Arabia. Let's get started. New factory to be constructed in Saudi Arabia. Lucid's focus is shifting to the facility outside the country now that it has successfully manufactured and sold autos in the United States. The Californian startup's plans to develop a manufacturing facility in Saudi Arabia have been formally published for the first time. By 2025 or 2026, this project should be done. Many ministries across the kingdom are working out the details right now. Lucid Motors intends to start manufacturing automobiles in Saudi Arabia by 2025, after a decade of development as the Middle East's growing electric vehicle sector enters a new era of competition. For the first time, a Lucid executive has confirmed long-circulating claims of a Saudi Arabian Lucid facility. A year ago, there was some buzz about a certain location in Jeddah, the Red Sea port city. The plans were advanced according to sources at the time, but there were concerns that they could yet be amended because the proposed city of Neom was probably evaluated as a viable alternative to Jeddah, but no final decision was made. These two locations are still being investigated as possible destinations, with Jeddah's King Abdullah Economic City emerging as the most likely option. The chairman was adamant about not commenting on the specifics of a possible site. The Public Investment Fund, or PIF, a subsidiary of the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund, has held a stake in Lucid Motors since 2018 and will contribute a considerable sum to the facility at King Abdullah Economic City. There are some concerns to be looked into. One of the topics still up for debate, according to the release, is the actual ownership arrangement between Lucid and the Saudi Arabian partners participating. When it comes to corporate ownership, the organizational structure shifts in a larger sense in the American manufacturer PIF, which has increased its shareholding to 62.7%. However, it's unclear how ownership of facilities in the kingdom will be shared and what percentage of that facility will be under Lucid control, given that the kingdom may be providing the lion's share of the funding for the project. Andrew Liveris discusses Lucid's ambitious aspirations to build a facility in the kingdom, as well as the ownership negotiation process, which has proven to be a stumbling block. As the interviewer asked when Lucid would set up a facility at Riyadh, Andrew said, "That's pretty quick." So obviously, we're clearly working closely with the Ministry of Investments. They're obviously got a real program around automotive and the administrative industry in cooperation. He also mentioned that they have been talking with industry investment and they've declared their intent. "We're working very hard on what percentage will be owned directly by us versus partners," Andrew continued. Following that, the Lucid Supervisory Board's chairman said that the company's Arizona production units are experiencing a shortage of components. The company had to construct 577 electric automobiles after starting to ship the Air in October. There would have to be 520 Dream Editions and another 57 Grand Tourings, with the latter having the most long-distance travel potential. The corporation may have exceeded its declared delivery objective of 520 Air-Dream Editions, but its chairman has been strangely silent on the subject. He also discussed the supply chain issues that have plagued the entire industry, including Lucid, for quite some time. If you're interested in other fascinating things about Lucid Motors, then make sure to check out our video on Sandy Munro had something to say about Lucid Motors. You can go check this out after the video. Limited manufacturing at the factory. In Andrew Livery's interview, he also reveals the chairman's confirmation of supply chain constraints. When the interviewer said that Lucid has ambitious goals for deliveries, but asked what it's seeing in terms of supply chain constraints that might hold back some of those, Andrew said, "Yeah, as I mentioned, I've been in 3 interviews, so I can talk about numbers at all. But I will say to you that if you think about when we first said we'd be producing to this very moment, we would have a start of production successfully in October." Later he continued, "Our prototypes have arrived and our cars are currently being delivered. I'm the recipient of one and I want to tell you, I've got it at market price. It's in Florida. It's a phenomenal car, but we're experiencing some hydrogen issues." Because of this, the manufacture of these vehicles was limited to 520 units, which were quickly sold out as soon as word got out. Manufacturing them in Saudi Arabia would be good for both Lucid and Saudi Arabia since it would boost the economy, create jobs, and help the kingdom reach its Vision 2030 goals. Production of EVs in Saudi Arabia. NIO will be operating a fleet of Mercedes EQ electric vehicles. Apart from that, there are currently no electric vehicles available in Saudi Arabia, only hybrid models, and no charging infrastructure except for a few locations such as one of Jeddah's malls. In terms of infrastructure, no legislation has yet been enacted. Within the kingdom's borders, battery disposal and recycling facilities are likewise non-existent. If this is the case, the country's adoption of electric vehicles will be slow and challenging. When more Lucid automobiles are put on the road in Saudi Arabia and other parts of the world, this is likely to change. As the Middle East's embryonic automotive industry sees a rush of activity and the fight for dominance intensifies, the business will begin manufacturing automobiles in Saudi Arabia. Casa Grande site and car production. Returning to the United States, the air sedan's popularity has grown as the vehicle has traveled across the country. Lucid began expanding its Casa Grande manufacturing facility shortly after air production began there, as previously indicated. The current manufacturing capacity of up to 34,000 electric vehicles per year will expand to 90,000 vehicles per year by the end of 2023 as a result of the expansion. The expansion will give capacity for the manufacturer's second vehicle, an electric SUV being developed under the name Project Gravity, in addition to more room for the production of the electric car Lucid Air. As a result of these growth both within and outside of the state, the startup will be able to position itself in a highly competitive position against both traditional manufacturers and EV startups. Perhaps as a result of these developments, Lucid has returned to a price range in the mid-40s. Construction site update on January 14. Talking about Lucid's production factory in Arizona, there has been some latest updates from the footage of a drone as of January 14th. Lucid picked Casa Grande for several reasons, one of which is its proximity to 3 important international airports. Just about any site in the county is within an hour's drive of Phoenix Sky Harbor, Phoenix Mesa Gateway, and Tucson International Airports. Skybridge, Arizona, the nation's only combined U.S.-Mexico customs inspection facility, is located at Phoenix Mesa Gateway and helps to speed shipments to and from Mexico. The latest advancements on the construction site are revealed in a 55th flyover of the Lucid facility in Casa Grande, Arizona. It was around 4 p.m. and there was still a lot of building going on, as well as a fairly full employee lot for generating those automobiles. On the construction side, we're seeing a lot more steel and roof decking go up, as well as more grading and perimeter grade beams on the south side. After estimating the number of cars in the waiting area, we came up with 115. That indicates that there are at least 43 new vehicles in the parking lot. But we all know there's more, since it would only be true if they didn't remove a single car from the second Wednesday to the 14th. It's also known that car holders were there on Wednesday, implying that cars had been removed and replaced. So far, the production is looking promising. Our previous visit was about 53 hours ago, so that's a time frame for making at least 43 automobiles. With that information, we've reached the end of today's video. What are your thoughts on these production factories of Lucid? Do you think the new plant in Saudi Arabia will revolutionize the EV industry there? Comment below. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and we can't wait to have you back. Do drop this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and push the bell icon to receive the latest updates from our channel. See you soon!